Hey everybody, in today's video we are going to create a nice HTML and CSS loader. This loader is looking very nice. It's many dots which are turning in a circle shape, which has nice animation, and also it has nice glowing effect. We are going to create this one today. Let's start. But before starting, please consider liking this video and subscribe to the channel for new videos. So let's start. We break down the HTML first. We begin with our body element, which will hold everything we need for this little effect. Inside the body, we have a div with a class named loader. This will be the container that controls the overall size and positioning of our animation. Within that loader, we have 5 smaller divs. Each one has a class named orbe, and each one also has an inline style that sets a custom property called index. These values go from 0 up to 4. These orbe elements are going to be the small circles that animate around our loader, and that's the full HTML structure we will be working with. All right, everybody, now we move into the next part of our breakdown and start talking through the first section of our CSS. Remember, we are not writing symbols here, so I will explain every property in text. We begin with the body. The body is given a height of 100 VH. It is set to display as flex. It uses justify content set to center and align items also set to center. All of this works together to place our loader right in the middle of the screen, and finally we change its background to a new dark one. Next, we look at the loader class. The loader defines a custom size for the whole animation by creating a variable named sizeLoader with a value of 50 pixels and another variable named sizeOrb with a value of 10 pixels. The loader then sets its width to that sizeLoader variable. Its height is also set to that same sizeLoader value. The loader is rotated by 45 degrees, and it is positioned as relative so that its child elements can use absolute positioning later on. And that brings us through this next portion of the styling. All right, everybody, now let us continue moving through our CSS and take a look at how each orbe is styled. The orb class is positioned as absolute, so each one can sit on top of the loader container. The width is set to 100%, and the height is also set to 100%, so every orb fills the entire loader space before animation is applied. We then create a custom property named delay. Its value is calculated by taking the index variable and multiplying it by 0.1 seconds. This gives each orbe a slightly different start time. The orb uses an animation named orbit. The timing function is ease in out. The duration is 1.5 seconds. The delay property we just calculated is added to it. The animation repeats infinitely. The opacity of each orb is also adjusted. This is done by taking 1 and subtracting 0.2 multiplied by the index variable. This way, each orb becomes slightly more transparent as the index increases. Now we move on to the pseudo element for each orbe. Using after, we position it as absolute. The content is an empty string. Its width is set to the size orb variable, and the height is also set to that same size orb value. The background color is set to 3A E374, written without symbols. A box shadow is applied with 0 pixels by 0 pixels by 20 pixels by 2 pixels using that same color value. And the border radius is set to 50% to make it perfectly round. And that completes another portion of our styling. All right, everybody, now we move into the final section of the CSS that makes the animation actually come to life. This is our keyframes block named orbit. Within these keyframes, we define how each orb will rotate over time. At 0%, we begin with no transform applied. This means the orb starts in its original position. Then, at 80%, we apply a transform that rotates the element by 360 degrees. This gives the orbe a full circular movement. At 100%, we keep that same transform rotation of 360 degrees, so the animation loops smoothly from end to start. And that covers the animation rules that drive the orbiting motion of all the orbs. Finally, our nice loader is ready and working correctly. If you liked the video, please consider liking it and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's it for today. See you in the next one. Have a sweet time.